Good morning, friends. I am so excited to be here today with you. Are you ready to start our day? Excellent. Let's start by singing our good morning song. I want to hear your beautiful singing voices. Ready? Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. It is time to start our day. We will learn and work and play. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Great job. Can you tell me how you're doing today? Those are some good words you used. I'm glad you're feeling good. I feel good. I feel green. I feel calm. I'm at school, which makes me happy. So I'm having a good day. Can we say good morning to mummies and daddies and brothers and sisters? Good job. All right. We need to figure out what day of the week it is. I'm almost forgetful, so I need some help remembering what day of the week it is. Can you help me by singing our song? Let's show me your 2 fingers and your 5 fingers, just like this. Ready? There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Great job singing the days of the week song. Do you know what day of the week it is? Yesterday was Tuesday, which means today is Wednesday. Can you say Wednesday? Great job. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, and we're going to have some fun. Great job singing our song. So we figured out that today is Wednesday, but we need to figure out what the number is of today. So I'm going to grab my pointer, and you're going to come with me while we figure it out. You ready? So Miss Tracy's going to grab Wednesday, and I'm going to put it over here and move the today star. And we have to count all the way up to this number. Are you ready to count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today's number is 6. Can you say 6? Great job. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to write our date on the board. Who remembers what day of the week it is? That's right. It's Wednesday. Okay. And we don't talk about the name of the month a lot, but it is called January. Can you say January? Good job. And who remembers what number we counted to today? That's right, number 6. So we say Wednesday, January 6th. Great job, friends. You guys are working so hard. All right, we figured out the date. Now it's time to do the weather. Always the trickiest part of circle time. You ready? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather, everyone? Is it snowy? Is it cloudy? Is there rain or is there sun? Can you use your looking eyes to look outside your window and tell me what the weather is where you are today? Good words. So where I am, I can still see snow on the ground and on the tops of the roofs. And it's still quite cloudy. So I'm going to put the snow and the clouds up on the weather board. And then the weather panda is going to wear warm clothes today because Miss Tracy wore her warm clothes to school today. So he's going to wear his boots and his pants He's going to wear his jacket. That's good. I, Miss Tracy, did not wear my mittens or my toque today, so I'm not going to put those on the weather panda. It might be a little bit colder where you are, but where I am at preschool, I didn't need to wear those things today. So I think our weather panda is all ready. All right, excellent. Are you ready to hear what we're going to learn about today? Me too. So today we're going to be talking about mittens. Do you like to wear mittens on your hands? I do. They keep my hands really warm. So yesterday we made our snowman mitten with our poem. And today we're going to make a different type of mitten. We're going to read a story all about the mitten. And then we're going to make a mitten. And then I'm going to teach you a song. And then we're going to play a game. Sound good? Great. Let's get started with our storybook. I'm a good listener, read me a book. My hands are in my lap and at Miss Tracy I look. When she sees I'm ready, she will say, here is the story I have for you today. All right, so my book is called The Mitten. And this book is one of my favorite books. All right. Once, there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. So who's making the mitten? His mittens. I think it might be his grandmother. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you're never going to find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. Do you think he's going to lose his mittens in the snow? We'll see. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went. And it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. What is Nicky doing? That's right, he's climbing a tree, and he had his mittens tucked into his belt, and one fell down. Do you think he'll notice that it fell off? A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. So did the mole make a home in the mitten? A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. So how many animals are in the mitten now? The mole and the rabbit, which make 2. Oops. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. So we had 2 animals in the mitten, and we added 1 more. How many are there now? That's right, there's 3. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by all the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. So we have the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl. So there's 4 animals in this mitten. I bet this mitten is all stretched out. What do you think? Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. They said, "Sure, you can come on in." It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel sleepy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. So how many animals are now in the mitten? So we have the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, the badger, and the fox. So now there's 6 animals in this mitten. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. Do you think he's gonna fit in this mitten? The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal will argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. That's a lot of animals in this mitten. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. All right, so how many animals do we have now? We have the mole, the rabbit, the badger, the fox. Who else do we have? Miss Tracy loses count all the time. Let's not lose our spot. Okay. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, the badger, the fox. So that's 6. The bear, which is 7, and now the mouse, which is 8. There's 8 animals in this tiny, tiny mitten. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Uh-oh, look at them all. They're flying. Those poor animals. On his way home, Nicky, who's now noticed his mitten is missing, saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. What a lucky boy. But uh-oh, look what Baba's noticed. Baba has noticed that one mitten is the normal size that she knitted, and the other mitten has been stretched out really big from fitting all those animals. I bet she wonders what happened to that mitten. Oh, the end. What a great story, friends. Thank you for reading that story with me. So I am going to do our craft today. So today for our craft, you are going to need the mitten with string from your craft kit, the paper with the animals. So we have the mole. Where's the mole? I think this one's the mole, the badger, the fox, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, the bear, and the mouse. You will need some pencil crayons, and then you will need some scissors. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to get some crayons, and we're going to color our animals. Now I'm only going to color one just to show you, but I want you to color all the animals. So let's see, let's color the hedgehog. All right, so I'm going to color in, and remember, I want you to try to color in the lines. It's okay if you don't do a perfect job. The important part is that we try, because we should always be trying our hardest to do things. Okay, so I only colored the hedgehog. I want you to pause this video if you need and color in all the rest of the animals. All right. the next thing you're going to do once all your animals have been colored is you're going to cut them out. So remember, Tommy Thumb goes in the top hole and the finger family goes in the bottom hole. And we open, shut to do our cutting. So open, shut, open, shut, open, shut, open, shut, open, shut, open, shut. Now, I just want you to try cutting straight lines. There are going to be some curves, but they don't have to be perfect. We don't have to cut all the exact lines. I just want you to try. And mommies and daddies might need to help you with some of the animals that are a little bit close together. So I'm going to cut these out. So I'm going to cut my bear out. And again, you don't have to go fast. You can go slow and take your time. The important part is that you're practicing open and shut with your fingers and your helper hand. Those are the important parts of what we're doing today. I want to make sure that our hands are getting nice and strong so that we can keep cutting out harder and harder things. All right. So I have 3 animals cut out, so I need to cut out 5 more animals. Okay, so the hedgehog is next. Cut out the hedgehog. I've always wanted a hedgehog for a pet. No, I don't have a hedgehog. I have a turtle. But I think it would be fun to have a hedgehog. All right. Some of these are going to be tricky, and mummies and daddies or grown-ups will have to help you, but that's okay. It's important that we learn how to ask for help when we can't do something or we need help doing it. Okay. I've got almost all my animals cut out. Okay, 1 more to go. This guy's the badger, I believe. Okay, so now all my animals are cut out. I'm going to put my scraps aside, put my scissors away nice and safely. And then the other thing I'm going to do before I teach you my story and my rhyme and what we're going to do with this string is we're going to color. So I'm going to draw some pictures. This one, I think I'm going to draw a flower. So I want you to decorate your mittens. If you could have any pattern or any design on your mittens, what would that look like? I would probably have flowers because I really like flowers. And I like drawing flowers. It was the thing I doodled most when I was little. I would draw all different types of flowers. Lilies and daisies and flowers that I made up that aren't real. All right, I'm gonna color 1 more flower. Okay, so now my mittens have 2 flowers on them. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with this string. With this string, we're gonna do something called lacing. So I'm gonna run it into these holes. And then I'm gonna stitch all the way up and around, as if I was knitting, a little bit like that. So I want you to try 2 things. The first thing you can try is finding the end of the string and behind, poking it through, and then using your helper hand to pull it. So there's 1. And then we're gonna go behind, find the end of your string, poke it through, and pull it. One of the little tricks I find helpful, and I'll try and show you here, is when I poke it through from behind, using my finger to make sure it doesn't slip back through the hole, and then pulling. This can be tricky, and we might need grown-ups' help a little bit for this part, but it's a really good practice for writing because it makes sure that your hands and your eyes are doing the same thing. Okay, we're almost done. So I push from behind and I pull forward. You guys are doing a great job. Oh, Miss Tracy's done something to her string. That's okay. All right. In from behind and pull through. In from behind and we'll pull through. All right, I have a few more stitches to go. I bet you guys are doing a great job and your mittens are looking awesome. Okay, I got 3 left. Take your time. Take as much time as you need to practice this. Okay, I got 2 left. Now I have 1 left. Push from behind, pull it up through, and there we go. I laced my mitten. Good job, friends. I bet that was tricky, but I'm sure you worked really hard at it. And you might have lots of string left over, and that's okay. You could have grown-ups tie it in a knot if you want, or you could undo it and practice again. It's totally up to you. So now I'm going to teach you what I wanted, the song I want to teach you with all of these animals. So we have our mitten. Okay, and we're going to have to remember the storybook. So I might look at the storybook just to remind me because sometimes I forget. So you're going to take your mitten and your animals, and you're going to find all the different animals, and we're going to try and retell the story using a song. So my song goes like this. All right. Oh, where'd Miss Tracy's little sticky note go? I think I took it away. Oh, there it is. So let's see if I can remember this. I just needed a reminding of what tune it's to. All right. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? First it was the mole. So we'll just put the mole on top because we don't have a mitten to stuff him into. Do you remember who came next? So it was the mole, and then it was the rabbit. So find the rabbit. Oh, there we go. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Second, it was the rabbit. Good job. Okay, so we'll put the rabbit in. Do you remember who came next? We had the mole. Let's look at our storybook to make sure we get it right. Okay, so we had the mole, yeah, and the rabbit, and then we had the, who remembers what this guy's called? I should have remembered this because I really want one. The hedgehog. So let's grab our hedgehog. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Third, it was the hedgehog. And we can put the hedgehog on top. Do you remember who came after the hedgehog? Who was the 4th animal? I think it was the fox. Should we turn the page and see if oh, I was wrong. It's who is this? The owl. All right, so let's find our owl. Here we go. Ready? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? 4th, it was the owl. And we can put the owl down. All right, so now we have to figure out who came next. Who came next? The badger. Yep, so find your badger and sing our song. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? 5th, it was the badger. All right, and you can put the badger on top. Do you remember who came next? I think it was the fox this time. I think I'm right. And I'm right. It was the fox. Okay, so find the picture of the fox, and we'll sing our song. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? 6th, it was the fox. And we can put the fox on our mitten. All right, now we have to figure out the 7th animal. Do you remember who the 7th animal was? This one was the biggest animal, the one I was sure was not going to fit into the mitten. Do you remember? The bear. So find the bear. Good job. And we'll sing our song. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Seventh, it was the bear. And we can put the bear on our mitten. Now, do you remember who the last animal was in our storybook? That's right. The last animal was the smallest one. It was the little teeny mouse. So find your mouse and sing our song. Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Who went into the mitten? Eighth, it was the mouse. And we can put the mouse on our mitten. And then I want you to practice retelling that story. You don't necessarily have to sing the song like I did, but you could watch the video over and sing it with me as you do all the animals inside your mitten. All right, friends. That was a great day. Now, tomorrow, today we learned about mittens. Tomorrow we're going to learn a little bit more about snow. We're going to learn about snowflakes tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to revisit mittens. And I have another game I'm going to play with you on Friday. And I have another song I'm going to teach you tomorrow. That's all I have for you today. That was a pretty good day. We figured out the numbers, we figured out the weather, we read a really good book, and we learned a new song, and we did a craft. So I had a lot of fun. Now it's time to say goodbye. So let's get out our working hands. Are you ready? I'm ready. All day long we worked and played, worked and played, worked and played. All day long we worked and played, and now our day is done. Wave goodbye to all your friends, all your friends, all your friends. Wave goodbye to all your friends until we meet again. Bye, friends. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.